wanted to add to the training, as Kate and I were just talking offset, was boundaries and how you set clients with boundaries and set expectations. So a lot of the times what I do is I mirror the behavior of my client for the client that I want to work with and it's predictable. Let me give you an example. I have a client that any time that he calls, I always pick up the phone. I have on Christmas Eve, I have on Thanksgiving, I have on other nights. I pick up his phone calls a lot. However, he doesn't call me every day. He calls me maybe once a month. And this is an individual who's referred me probably $250,000 worth of other business. I speak at his live events. So I answer those calls right away. And my family's like, well, Curt, why do you answer a call like that? Like it was 4th of July at 11 o'clock at night. And I'm like, because since the last time I talked to him, because of him, I put $70,000 in my pocket. And all he wants is a quick answer and then he knows that I care about him. That's it. I have clients that won't talk to me for months. We'll just be going over, delivering everything, intention, behavior, result. However, when I haven't talked to those clients in a while and they call, I always answer the call or I return it very, very quickly. Now what's going to happen is remember, when I tell people when you sign a contract, I ask people to do it for 90 days, but I tell them that we can split this off anytime and it goes month to month, right? I think in our contract is we have something that requires a 30-day notice, but we can always drop that if it doesn't work. Well, if the client is calling me, like for instance, we had a client to do a website design for $1,500. And the client called, and here's what she did, and I should have just said this isn't going to work out. She clicked on my payment link and it didn't work. There was something wrong with her credit card. And it declined 3 times. And we're like, we're sorry, our merchant is telling us that your credit card has declined. We'd be happy to work with you. She's like, I don't know why this happens. Why does this always happen? Maybe you guys need another merchant account. Remember the why and the need? That should have been instant that, hey, this is not good. Well, what ended up happening is we decided, you know what, we're going to do business with her and we're only going to do it for a month. That month turned into 5 months of horror. And the reason is because she called 4 or 5 times a day. Why did this happen? I don't understand what I told you guys, and why did this happen? And I didn't set boundaries up overall. And what I learned that was really difficult, you should learn early on, is start setting coaching prices now. Even if it's $1,000 for 5 hours, quantify your time. I don't charge anybody hourly unless I do coaching. So when they hire me, they're hiring me for a bulk rate of my time. It's not if it took me 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Some clients are like, well, whatever takes you under 15 minutes, I can do this, and then you can do that, and I can do this. If I don't control the behavior that we talk about right here, if I don't control the behavior, I can't properly assess and guarantee you a result. I can never guarantee you a result, but I can give you a high probability if I control the behavior, I'll get the result, right? So what happens is with this client, she would literally call, and this is really important, she would literally call 2 to 3 times a day. She wanted to know why she didn't do this. She wanted to know why this didn't happen. And I finally asked her and I said, look, Mrs., when we originally talked, your intention was to do this. Our behavior is going to be this. And the result is you want this with your website. Are you angry with me right now because the website's not done? We said it would be done in 30 days and today is day number 7. Are you upset with me that the website's not done on time? And she goes, no, not at all. And I go, are you upset with me with the website design? She goes, no, not at all. Then what specifically are you upset about? Are you upset that I didn't return your phone call within 4 hours? She goes, yes. And I go, that's not the service that you purchased. We told you it would be done in 30 days and we're going to do everything we can for that. But I don't typically respond to emails within 24 hours unless it's urgent and it's required and it's going to hit a deadline. If we go past the 30 days, I tell all clients this, and I wrote this in my contract, you should know this. If I say it's going to take 30 days, in my heart, I know it's going to take 2 to 3. 2 to 3 days. And if I put it on the schedule for a week, I know I have 3 more weeks left to get to it. And I don't procrastinate, but I do know I told the client that I'd get it done in 30 days, and if I get it done in the first 2 weeks, they love you. If you tell me you can get it done in 2 or 3 days, and then something happens to your sister, and you get sick, and you got to do this, and then you go to this convention, and all of a sudden 3 days have passed and it's 7 days since you've done anything for them, now they're going to be like, they're just way too busy to work with me. You got to set proper expectations up front. And if you go over IBR exactly like I've taught you, you're going to be able to ask a client when they get upset or when you have a problem, let me understand, our intention of working with you, that you wanted to do this, we contracted on this behavior, so I just want to make sure we're talking about the overall results. What part of the process are you unhappy with? I'll control the behavior. What can we do to change for that result? If you clearly know the result, the behavior is not a moving target. The clients who don't know what their results are, that's a moving target, and that's somebody that we had on here before that you have to charge consulting money for. Now, I learned this the hard way, and actually this just happened a couple of weeks ago, so I really want to share this in setting boundaries, and this will really help wrap up the conversation. You know, if we're going to build out a sales funnel for somebody right now, if we're going to build out a webinar and a product, we're looking anywhere between $5,000 to $7,000 to compensate us for our time. We're very particular who we work with, and if they don't know what they want, I can't build a sales funnel. If they don't know what the product is, I can't help them design the product. It's going to take much more time that's required. I decided to turn down the business. Now, the client who referred me the business referred it to someone else that actually many of you guys here in the room know as well, and he sold this client for $15,000. And I asked him, and I'm like, I go, Curt, I don't understand. I didn't think this client was going to work for me because their language was the same people I told you before in one of my other videos that constantly cut me off. I didn't think they had a high probability. They didn't know what they really wanted. It didn't work for me. And what Curt ended up doing is he wrote down their dreams. He followed IBR, but he concentrated more on their dreams and their intention versus, hey, I want a sales funnel. And he says, I can give you that, exactly what you want, and it's good because you're pre-qualified with the money, but I'm going to coach you through those processes at first. So it's $3,500 up front to coach you how to do this for the next 6 weeks. It's $3,500 to design a website, and it's $3,500 for me to do your social media branding, and I'll do a 2-for-1 deal. I'll do it for both of you. He just collected 10 grand off of somebody that I turned down. If someone's indecisive, you know that they're indecisive, that's when you sell consulting. But put a fence around it. Jesse says this really well. You always put a fence around it. If they're going to do it on their own, you sell them the product and they do it on their own. They don't have consulting calls with you. If they ask for additional consulting, you tell them it's additional price. But the most important thing that I can give you overall with this video and putting a whole fence around it and setting up boundaries is this. Everything you do for a client for free, they will never appreciate. I have a friend, we have a mutual friend who's in the film industry, and he does a lot of commercials and whatnot, and he's like, you know, I shot the video on this, I brought this extra person, we brought a third camera, I did these edits, I did this, I stayed up late, I worked till 5 o'clock in the morning, and he's like, and I did it for free and didn't charge him overtime. The client doesn't know any of that story unless you tell them, and unless they charge them, they don't validate it. So what you do is this. It's going to take me 6 hours to do what you just asked me to do. Typically, I charge my rate, you know my consulting rate. Typically, I would charge you $1,000 to do this for the next 5 hours. We can work out a deal, but I want to be very clear with you. I would typically charge $1,000. So if I spend 6 hours on this and I do this to you as a favor, like this is a big commitment to me. Do you understand how big of that commitment is? Now they have a valuation of that time on it, but you constantly don't be in the habit of, hey, I have to make the client always happy, so I'm going to spend extra time on it. Tell the client how much time it's going to take. Tell them what your rate is for this time, and then if you want to negotiate a special price or tell them you'll do it for free, you must tell them that your time has a price tied to it. Otherwise, they'll never value a time. They'll follow up all the time. You won't be able to put a fence around it. And again, you're going to buy a job that you don't want. Create the lifestyle that you want. I'm excited. Let's go ahead and I already stumbled on that. I don't even know what the hell the next video is because I'm so damn excited. We're going to see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much.